Hello and welcome back, YouTubers. I am Protomario, and today we are reviewing Forza Motorsport 4. This is a racing game released by Turn 10 Studios, developed by them for the 360, and published by Microsoft Studios. Of course, Microsoft owns this franchise, so it is only available on Xbox 360. I'm sorry if you don't have one, you're kinda out of luck. The real question is, there's so many racing games out today, is this one the one that you'll want to pick up and doesn't warrant the purchase of a Xbox 360 by itself? It does come with several things that are a bit more appealing than maybe other racing games like Grid and Gran Turismo and things like that. The only differences are somewhat minute. Gran Turismo is much more customizable. However, this game does come with features that make it a lot easier for people to just pick it up and play it rather than an in-depth racing game experience where they're going to do 24-hour Le Mans and huge grand tournaments and things like that. Just the average casual gamer who really enjoys racing games, but is not at that level where he's going to be going online and competing hardcore with other people. Just a casual way, I'm off work, I want to play a racing game kind of guy, can jump into this, or the hardcore gamers can also jump into this. It integrates features of both. It is also recently entered in a exclusive multiple year partnership with the BBC's Top Gear. So if you're familiar with those, they're on them too. They have dealings with them. And that's not all. This also incorporates the Kinect experience. And I have happened to have tried out the Kinect experience. While it does work, and it works pretty well, the fact remains is I'm just a controller guy, so I don't really like the Kinect experience for this type of racing game. It's not overly my thing. However, it is something new that I experienced, and I never thought I'd ever experience something like it in my lifetime. Driving an imaginary steering wheel can be a little rough to get used to, but believe me, the controller is there, and if you're like me and you're an old-timey gamer, then you'll probably be going on the controller. But just because the future is coming and different things are happening with new control integrations, doesn't mean that you have to throw away your old ways. Pick it up, give it a try. Try it out with the Kinect sensor. It's really, really fun, guys, and I'm telling you, you really will enjoy this. Forza 4 also is on clinging to the edge of realism. The graphics are out of this world for the 360, a gaming system that was launched years ago. It's almost time for a new gaming system. This game just proves how great and competent the Xbox 360 is for generating realistic graphics. Now, the only problem that I've found with this game so far is that the frame rate does tend to drop ever so slightly every now and then. And that is a bit annoying, but it's not a gameplay killer. I promise you that right now. Having said that, taking all things into account, I think this game is a stupendous pickup for people who are new to the racing genre or they've been in the racing game a minute. If you're a racing game enthusiast, you can probably enjoy this game a lot more than the newbies, but that's to be said. You don't really need to say that because racing game enthusiasts probably pick up tons of racing games. The real question is, if you have Gran Turismo 5, should you pick this game up? Personally, I would say no. Only simply put because if you have Gran Turismo 5, you can do so much with that game. There's DLCs out with it, you can get so many cars, and then there's so many other racing games as well. If you have tons and tons of racing games, then you probably won't need to pick this game up. But if it looks clean, it looks crisp, it has the updates that you're really looking to get out of a racing game, then maybe this game will be a great pickup for you. Stay tuned, watch the footage, download the demo if you are interested, and maybe it'll convince you to either pick it up or not pick it up. The real question is if you're going to pick it up because you have more racing games or you don't have any racing games. And that's what I'm trying to explain to you here. The realism is really, it's by far almost, you can't tell the difference. I had a rough time telling the difference between reality and video game when I was playing this game. The cockpit view that you're seeing here is the preferred view, and in almost every racing game I've ever played, I dislike the cockpit view because it always limited me, or it gave me the front scoop view instead of the cockpit view. But the cockpit view really puts you behind this game, and with a racing steering wheel or possibly the Kinect interface, you can kind of feel really at home if you have a nice setup or a game room possibly, and you're really into racing games. Maybe you have a racing chair. I know a lot of people nowadays are picking up things like this for their gaming needs, and they really get into the game, and this really shows it off. Back in the cockpit, it just looks like a real car. It looks like you're really driving, and you're not hindered like you normally would be on other cockpit views. And I really dislike other cockpit views, but this one I really liked it over the top view or from the behind the bumper view. I just like the cockpit view a lot better. Having said that, everyone has their own personalities. If you like the cockpit or whatever, there's multiple camera angles. You can choose whichever one you want. This game doesn't limit what cars you're driving either. They have a great choice in a multitude of vehicles that you'll be driving, from the Subaru to the muscle cars, the Ferraris, Porsches, Jaguars, BMWs, everything and anything you could desire is probably on here. Of course, maybe not every single car in the world, but a good choice, from muscle cars to luxury to racing to off-road and open wheel. The cars are here for you to drive and enjoy. I think Microsoft did an outstanding job on publishing this game, and almost any time that Microsoft actually sits down and works on a game for themselves only, it really comes out over the top. As you can see, while I'm driving, there are arrows that help guide you on where you should be driving, where you should be keeping your car, but there are also more difficult settings. So if you want to turn on a much more difficult mode, if you want to disable the fact that you can rewind time, much like Grid, and restart the race, you have to drive it out. There are settings that you can do that, and you can make it a much more difficult challenge for yourself. There are also some great achievements out there for this game, and it'll really get racing enthusiasts really interested into this game. I'm really excited for this game, and I've rarely ever been excited for racing games. Racing games are not my thing. Let me tell you, I'm really liking Forza Motorsport. Great game, loving it, everything about it just really leaps out of the screen at me, and I love what they've done with it. I cannot express to you how much I like this game. The fact that the Kinect interface isn't mandatory just sells it for me. Anytime you want to pioneer a new gaming type, a new gaming experience, that's all great and good, but dual out the controller, and they did just that. It's a wonderful experience. It's great for beginners, it's great for advanced racing fans, and I think anyone who picks this up, either for maybe an upcoming Christmas present, birthday, or just as a gift for a car guy or a car lady, hey, we're not sexist here, if anyone's into cars, a young kid or an older gentleman, perhaps this is the game that they would love to pick up and play. And I'll tell you, it's just really fun getting behind that Lamborghini, getting behind that BMW, and living out your dreams. Not everyone can afford every single luxury car, sports car that they've ever wanted to drive. So here's a way that you can possibly try and live that out. If you don't have a racing game and you've never picked one up, this is a great buy, and you can pick it up now. It was released October 11th, and it's available to you. So, let's get to the core review of this. Well, I really don't think I have to speak about the graphics anymore. I've said so much about them. Graphically speaking, this thing gets an A++++. As a matter of fact, I'm going to move it up to the S rank. Perfect graphics, 100%. There is no way they could do better graphics on the Xbox 360 without destroying the frame rate, utterly destroying it. Even though the frame rate does decline just slightly, it's not enough to become a bothersome, and it does not interfere with races. Sound. The torque in the engines can really be heard. The swerving of the tires, even to the music in the background, it really pumps you up and makes you ready for a race. Really excited to get behind the wheel, and you want to keep that adrenaline rush going. It really simulates these things very, very well, and I really appreciate their music choice. Techno, maybe not the best styling of music, maybe not the style of music that you or I would appreciate, but it fits with the car, and it fits with these tense, high-paced races. So, under sound, I give it another A+. Controls. Simple. You want to try the Kinect interface? Your hands are your wheel. It's pretty easy to use. If you want to use the controller, it's there. And I'm pretty sure there are some wheels that you can plug into. Personally, I haven't used one, but I can't imagine why you wouldn't be able to use a wheel on a racing game. So, controls, pretty easy. Right triggers go, L triggers brake, and there's some subtle things like shifting and things of that nature, but they keep it simple, so it's very, very easy to use, very, very easy to jump in, and easy to master. Controls get an A+ also. Now, for the big one, gameplay. With tons and tons of tracks, online abilities, race against the computer, a real person, do some speed runs, time trials, and just try to beat your time in the world records. There's just a limitless amount of stuff to do within this game. You will never ever get tired of playing this game, and you shouldn't get tired of playing this game. It has tons and tons of stuff to do over and over again. You're going to be playing this until maybe the next racing game comes out, because I don't see why you would give it up or play something else. Otherwise, racing-wise, unless maybe you have Gran Turismo 5. Other than that, I can't see another game that would step up to this area. Even Grid can't even touch this. This game is excellent, it's awesome, it's for those who really love driving games and really want the full experience. The replay value, of course you're going to go through the same courses, of course you're going to play them all the same way, but you have tons and tons and tons of cars to play them with. So it's going to feel different, you're going to be racing different, and of course you can set the difficulty much different on each course. So you can find that proper competition, get better and better until you're top dog. Overall, I give gameplay, replay value, an A+ also. This game gets a 10 out of 10. It smashes it out of the park for a racing game, and that's very difficult for me to put my finger on and say I like a racing game. But I did it. It's great, it's wonderful, and you should definitely download the trial version or go out and buy it if this thing really interests you. I'm Protomario, and I'm signing out. And hey, thanks for listening.